After the tournament in Lisbon, there was no need for a plane to travel to the next tournament. We stayed in Portugal. The train was the planned means of transportation. To my surprise, the train left on time but arrived 30 minutes late, so we were back to European standards. The destination of our trip was Braga, a city rich in history. But whether we would also make history here was still uncertain. Braga is located in the north of Portugal, and the beauty of the city center was another positive surprise. Our hotel, the historic building in the background, was a perfect match. Definitely something different compared to the typical hotels, even if it took some getting used to. Old buildings often tend to be a little labyrinthine, and getting lost was always a possibility at the beginning of the stay. As Mate Dodik had to play qualification this week, the preparation was correspondingly short. We arrived on Saturday in the early afternoon, and the qualification usually starts on Sunday at the Challenger tournaments. An intensive practice session with Karin completed the preparation. As we played on the same surface and with the same balls, it wasn't a big change. What worried me a little was Mate's shoulder. He felt a little pain on the serve. It was already noticeable last week, and I had the feeling that it was getting worse. The physio at the last tournament also treated Mate for this, but no movements were restricted and the cause remained unclear. Wait and see and play the first match was the plan. Mate played against the Portuguese wildcard Pereira in the first round of qualification. The shoulder was better, and Mate also tried to focus less on speed and more on variations when serving. With a 6-2 and 2-love lead, everything was under control. Mate had a relatively easy forehand to make it 3-love, and sloppy footwork caused an easy mistake. It seemed harder to let this match slip away than to win it, but Mate was close to doing so. As it turned out, Mate lost the second set, only to win the third set 6-4 with a lot of effort. Too much carelessness almost cost him the match. Another lesson for him. On match point for Mate, the umpire also made a furious bad decision against Mate, but the positive thing was that he managed to keep a reasonably cool head. In the final round of the qualification, Mate faced Korea's Campana Lee. There were two tough sets with ups and downs, but Mate was strong in the decisive moments and won 6-4 and 7-6. His shoulder also seems to be better, so it was a positive start into the week. The tournament week in Braga was not untouched by the rain either. As the weather forecast for the next 2 days was not good, the supervisor decided to go indoors already on Tuesday. Mate therefore played indoors against the number 1 seed Tirante from Argentina. It was a close match. Mate played good tennis, but the Argentinian was the better player in the end. The Argentinian won 7-6 and 6-4. It was another important experience for Mate to play against a top 100 player. Matches at this level are instructive and motivating. Slava Belinsky seems to have eliminated all physical problems. What was the cause in the end? I can only say that you never stop learning and you should always take everything into consideration. Slava changed his diet a while ago and tried to avoid sugar as much as possible. In principle, very positive. However, We were not aware that Slava was used to drinking a lot of cola every day. And then going from 100 to 0, of course, had an effect. As soon as we were aware of this, we let Slava drink cola again to see if that was the cause, and bingo! Now we have to carefully reduce the amount over time so that the body can handle it. As I said, you never stop learning. Yuri Rodionov has not changed his eating and drinking habits, and I hope it is not necessary. He practiced in Vienna this week and will play another strong challenger in France next week. Mate Dodik stayed with me in Braga for a few days after his defeat and prepared for the next tournament. Thank you for your interest, and I will report back next week.